Welcome to Loving's Guitar, where I like to talk about guitars and how they move me. Thank you so much for being so concerned about my mallet finger recently acquired. Truth is, it is coming along at a slow pace, meaning that it needs time for it to heal. In the meantime, thank you for putting up with the last few uploads. It just so happened that I had a backlog of library stuff that I still needed to edit, so I just did that while this has been healing. I'd like to give you better news about it, but it is what it is, folks. You see, it gives me quite a restraint in terms of what I can play, and it affects the rest of the hand, see? You know, just the fact that this is not being used doesn't mean that the others are just free to roam around and just run around naked. What happens is that it kind of affects everything that I'm playing, even when I'm not, obviously I'm not using the finger. But sometimes I just deal with the noise. You know, you just gotta deal with it. These things make noise. Like there's a fuzz box, there's this thing, there's that. Put it all on, right? It doesn't matter because it's all noise. It just ends up that way, right? It's kind of like it just flattens everything out. See, when you put too much effects. The mallet finger braces. Alright, okay, well that happens every once in a while. And that cuts the show a little shorter, doesn't it? Once upon a time, this did have 6 strings. Alright? It's five. It's a 5-stringer now. Not quite the Keith Richards model, because he plays with 5 strings. It's 5 strings that make sense. This doesn't make any sense, folks. Playing 5 strings like, I mean, if you're gonna lose a string, why the D string in the middle of it? Yeah, okay, it is what it is. But you know what? This is all for a reason, right? You know, and what's the reason? It better be good. I mean, you do things for a reason, right? I know what, I do things for a reason. I did a lot of things for a lot less of a reason. I got nothing out of it. And nowadays, I learned, I'm doing everything for a reason. And be it as it is, you know, sometimes they suck. Those reasons, they wind up sucking. But then they're your reasons, and then you own up to them. You go, hey, that was me back then. You know, I had a sideways reverse mohawk. So, you know, we've moved way past those days now. Look, I mean, now I've graduated to a mallet finger. This kind of sucks, though. I'll tell you why. Because they say, well, let's see, I got this in like sometime right before Thanksgiving, right? A few weeks before Thanksgiving. So it's past Thanksgiving. We're in December now. And they say, you know, like some 6, 8 to 10 weeks. So I'm playing it safe. So really what I should go for, I should, you know, maybe another 2 more weeks. Around Christmas time, I figure. Like, that's when I'm going to take it off, maybe, right? But I got to be careful because I do stupid shit, like roll over, pick my nose, scratch something too hard, and then it could result in bringing back the injury. Well, folks, the injury happened because I was slapping a piece of meat. And don't try this at home, folks. And there is a video that shows that. It's not much of a video because I tell you the truth, I would have preferred hurting my pinky under a different condition, you know, but I didn't get anything out of it, you know. All I got was a mallet finger. But I did figure out a few things, you know, about myself, that is, you know, with all these restrictions in place. I have learned that, oh, that's so clever, that I normally play with my pinky quite a lot. And what I mean by that is that when I got to observe some of the habits that I have been doing for decades, well, I kind of always known I've had a certain habit of doing things. And it was just me that I don't see many people doing it, but if this is you, this is the way you approach certain chords, and so be it. But I've always enjoyed the flexibility of my pinky. And I guess my other pinky kind of reflects that. So I can even hyperextend my back pinky. See on my right hand. My pinky should go do this. I can go back both ways. And you don't have control to go back. You only have control to go forward. So this is just a hyperflexion. Anyway, so this I don't have as much now as it's healing. I can see it doesn't have as much. I can't hyperextend it much anymore. But the whole thing is that after I had my injury, as soon as it happened, I realized that this tip, like as over, imagine this. Okay, so imagine Well, the way this pinky looked like, it looked like that, like this last digit part was bent over like 90 degrees, and it's like, are you kidding me? It was really, I had to be repaired. So I've been giving it time for the tendons to get back together on the top, So it's a very annoying injury, obviously, especially if you're a musician and if you rely on your fingers to, communicate. So for guitar players, for a guitar player, I found this to be quite a challenge. So as you can see, so this is my what's called like an ovalate type of a splint. So it's very comfortable. It does work, but it does put a lot of extra wear and tear on your finger if you happen to use it. Now, if you're a guitar player, you're kind of tempted to like, hey, look, my other fingers work. Everything seems to be cool, so I should be able to just start playing, right? Now that's okay. That's okay for most people. I'm getting my finger out of the way, right? Now, but the way I have approached like chords, like a C major chord, or I'm sorry, a major chord, a bar chord, based off of the fifth string, for decades now, instead of using the first finger and then the third finger to do a chord, like the C major chord, I had always used my pinky. Because my hand was so small. I got tiny hands. I don't know. I just worked that way for me. I was a Gibson person, so I was always working on a smaller scale. So anyway, so I had gotten used to playing like that. So plus, I think it kind of helped me along the punk rock world, because I could go like. All I had to do is just do that to go from there. So my pinky was always there. It's like, so I didn't have to like get it out of the way to do that. It would just go like that. So I got used to using my pinky. That's how I would use say a C, D, E. Even my Black Sabbath songs were all like that instead of like this. So anyway, long story short, so this injury brought to light certain things about me, about how I play. And so this downturn in my time of, playing the way I'd like to play got me sometimes to actually observe some of my other videos. And I noticed, wow, I rely on my pinky a lot, but the way I do that is I also get it out of the way. So when I'm not using it, I notice that when in my other videos, I have it so tucked away, kind of like a person who is just used to playing with just three fingers, Some people are like that. They do everything with just three fingers. They do nothing with the pinky, except for when it's just used for chords. Me, I have I guess I have a choice. I feel I always have a choice what I want to use and how I want to play. Do I want to use three fingers on a pattern, four fingers on a pattern? I have a choice at any moment how I want to position my hand over the fretboard for a three-finger technique or a four-finger technique. Over years that you come up with your own style, your own technique, your own way of holding the guitar, how your hand shapes over the fretboard. And I got to learn that the way my hand has shaped, I never took notice of this, about how my hand has been shaped over a fretboard. So after looking at some of my previous videos now, and what I got to realize, which I didn't know until this injury, is how my other three fingers that are not affected, there's no injury here, how they're affected by not having the pinky just being able to not even be in use, but at least being able to tuck away. Because in that tuck away, when it tucks away, when I'm playing like that, I can't do this right now. it gives my hand the ability and my fingers the ability to relax and play whatever I want to play. But the idea that it doesn't tuck away like from the digit that from like that. That's how it closes in. Like instead of like right now, it's just closing in with this digit straight right there. This part straight. But anyway, I got to realize how one finger changes the way I play everything, the way it feels, what I'm capable of doing. Then I think I'm capable of doing more, and then if I do that, I try to go a little bit more. I wind up hurting myself because then this brace here starts digging into the soft, fleshy skin on the top up here that's holding the brace up, and yeah, it becomes hard. So during this time of recuperation, I have been practicing other parts, I guess. Practicing my rhythms, my syncopations, taking things, starting a lot on different areas of the beat. Trying to stay off one, actually. Like starting my progressions on two, and then changing basically the whole feel of what the drum track is suggesting I play. Because if it's playing, four on the floor, just like beats of bass beats on 1 and 2, and snares on 2 and 4. The idea that you start on 2 as your progression means that you're starting on the snare drum, and then your next beat is going to be a bass kick. So it just changes everything. I like that. I used to like doing that live with my drummer back in the day of Lomito. He was pretty advanced, yeah, because he knew all his time signatures, and he can go in and out from one time signature to another. And he liked the idea that I could challenge him in certain respects. So we would start in odd time signatures, and sometimes I would like to start the progression, but not on one, to just make matters even worse, or at least not make matters even worse. Just stick to what we're supposed to do, but it just changes the whole perspective of how we're hearing it. And I think that was always a beautiful thing. Music is beautiful like that, isn't it? Especially when you have the magic of a room full of other people who are in on it and they want to participate and join forces and creating something that they can add to it. And that story, that little room story, that moment of connectivity with you and another musician or musicians in a space is more than electric. It's a trans medium. We talk with eyes. We talk with gesture. We talk with our head bangs. That's a good way of life if you think about it. We should all be so fortunate to know that music, if given the chance, will touch us so profoundly that we seek more of it, and we seek other people who enjoy that as well. And whether or not you're seeking someone to play with you, there's other people who are also seeking just to hear people, just like you. Or maybe they haven't figured that out yet. And that's a day of a new discovery for both people. And it all happens because, we just let ourselves go and we communicate on a way deeper level. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for supporting this channel. Thank you for being so kind and thoughtful about my recovery and how I'm doing with this injury here. It means a lot to me. I will continue my uploads and hopefully get even more involved with, meaning more episodes and stuff, more frequency, more than once a week, right? I think you guys can handle it now. I think I should be able to handle it now. At least that's what I'm gearing myself up for. Okay. Well, soon 2025 will be here, and all of this 2024 stuff will be, well, fragments of the past. Well, I hope I have been entertaining. You know what? I should consider some swag that I want to present. Maybe there's some swag, right? It's like swag, like really cool stuff, like stuff that you want to get. I don't know. If you want to get, then contact here. We got contacts here somewhere. I don't know. We're plugging things in at this very moment. Okay, thank you for watching the Loving's Guitar Channel. You've made it this far. Oh my God, you deserve a medal. God bless you all. All right. Be nice to one another, all right? Be nice, all right? Why don't you do something nice for a change? I tell you what. Why don't you introduce yourselves to your neighbors? Nicely, like, don't scare them. All right, okay. I gotta go. All right. Have I said what I got to say? I hope I got something done today.